Today, the interest rates are climbing. Should you wait to buy a home or should you go ahead and pull the trigger? Well, let's find out on today's Hawaii Real Estate Roundup. Hey, what's up? It's Hal Wilkerson here with Hawaii Property Advisors, and we are here with Gabe, Mr. Gabe Vergara. How are you, Gabe?
Good.
Sorry. Outstanding. So I stopped by to see Gabe. I was actually out doing a bunch of things today, and I wanted to stop by and see him. Gabe is my go-to loan officer here at Guaranteed Rate. Gabe is literally the hardest working loan officer on the planet. He's always hustling, always working, and he never lets my clients down. And Gabe, it's awesome working with you, buddy. I really appreciate your hard work.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's awesome working with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that we were talking about was kind of the interest rates in today's market. You've seen the headlines, you've seen the news, but we're really in a place right now where there's a lot of consumer sentiment that's becoming a little less stable after this amazing last year and a half of real estate that we've had as far as growth goes. Just low interest rates. It's been a pretty good environment, and we feel like it's going to continue that. I think so, but Gabe was kind of giving me some insights on, some points to ponder. So, what do you think, man? Are the interest rates climbing? What is that going to do to the market, do you think?
That's really good question, Hal. Many people tell me, hey, let me just wait until the interest rates drop again to buy. The question is, why do we have such a low interest rates? The reason why was because of the pandemic. The government put their big pockets on the market and brought the interest rates lower, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now the governments are taking the pockets out, like their money out, right? Now the market is stabilizing, it's going back to where it was before the pandemic. And before the pandemic, even years back when we had like 9% interest rates, people were still buying homes, right? So are people gonna stop buying homes? No, they're not, right?
Yeah.
So right now, what you can expect is the market is still hot. So the longer you wait, the more expensive it's gonna be the homes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're waiting, oh, let me wait next year maybe to see how the market's gonna do, maybe it's gonna cool off a little bit. We don't know the future. It might cool off a little bit, but guess what? Right now, the price of the homes are here. Next year gonna be around here.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, maybe it cools off and you're trying to buy here, you're not gonna be paying above asking price, maybe,
Yeah.
but the prices are already here, right?
Right.
So it's better to buy down here that we're right now, even if you pay a little bit above asking price, but you're still getting a better deal than next year.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, that makes sense. So let me ask you this: in Hawaii, our average purchase price is the median price is about $1,050,000 or so right now from January data. That's the latest data we've had, January 2022. Let's just say on $1 million, a mortgage on a typical underwritten $1 million purchase. What is a 0.25%, like a quarter interest rate percent? What is that going to do to the monthly payment for somebody in Hawaii?
So when we're talking about $1 million and just an increase in 0.25, we're talking about maybe $300 to $400 extra monthly payments, and that is a big difference, right? Your budget could be, hey, right now it's $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Then the interest rates keep going up. Maybe now for the same amount of money, you can only buy $800,000.
Gotcha.
So now, if as soon as we see the interest rates climbing up,
Mm-hmm.
means that your acquisition power is dropping,
right? And
the price of the houses keep going up,
right?
So that's why I tell people, hey, if you're in the market, you're thinking about buying a home, the best time to buy a home was yesterday. The second best time is today.
Right.
Right. Don't wait.
Sure. And so I think that's a good takeaway is that, the market in Hawaii, especially in Hawaii, I mean, they're not making more land out here. Right. And so I don't think we're going to see any major adjustments in Hawaii. We may have some sort of a cooling off, which we might be. I think we might be on the front side of that, honestly. But that's good to know. And I think the purchasing power point is an important one, because when you talk about for every quarter interest rate, that you see as an increase, I mean, that's basically $300 to $400 in PITI, basically your payment, right? And so for every $300 or $400 that you can't now, that reduces your ability to purchase. It's going to lower it gradually because everybody has their own, individual debt to income ratio, and that's what it's all about when you're doing underwriting. It's all about the debt to income ratio, right? And it's about what they can afford. So, for each individual, quarter percent that raises, I guess it's going to gradually start cooling it off.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, good to know. Now, and the other thing we were talking about, which I thought was pretty cool, is there's some new sort of things that people can do for their mortgages now to get some underwriting. Do you want to talk about that a little bit more than the traditional Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac?
Yes. So recently, now the banks are doing their own financing, which allows you to. So in the past, if you didn't have 2 years of your income taxes, you couldn't get a loan, right? You had to like file 2 years of income tax in order to show how much profit you're making. Now we have some banks that are actually just checking a whole year of your bank statements, and they don't care about your tax returns. So you don't have to show your tax returns. Doesn't matter how much you're deducting. Based on the income that you get, like the cash flow in your bank statements, then we can give you a loan.
Yeah.
And that could be a big difference for many people, especially self-employed people and people doing their own taxes.
So big one for self-employed people that are working on getting a mortgage loan or things of that nature. Now of course, obviously we have to temper that with a little bit of caution, because some of these liberal underwriting rules is sort of what got us into a big mess back in 2008. But it still does open the door for a lot of times for people that maybe, especially in today's market, because we've had this great resignation, right? We've had people that have walked away from traditional W-2 jobs that are doing their own hustles and things of that nature. And so I think this is probably an instrument that can help with a little bit more in that situation.
Yes, definitely. Back in the day, a few years ago, your 1099 was really hard for you to get approved by the bank.
Yeah.
Not anymore, right? Like just give us a call, send a message, and we can see your situation, your financial situation, and we can get you a loan.
Absolutely. And then the other thing I really like about with Guaranteed Rate is Gabe and the team here. So this is one of the things I always like to explain to my clients is that using a mortgage bank like Guaranteed Rate, several things. They are based here they're not based in Hawaii, but you guys have got a mortgage bank that's a Hawaii bank, all right? And so rather than being a brokerage where they broker different deals from different banks around the country, they have their own decisions and their own underwriting. They're all made locally in-house or at their corporate, which is, I think that goes a long way. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I continue to work with Guaranteed Rate. And again, Gabe is the hardest working mortgage officer I've ever seen. And so that's another key aspect to it. But Gabe, thanks, man, for taking a few minutes with me. It's good to see you.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. We do so much virtual work, man. Last year and a half, so sometimes it's fun just to get out of the office and come down. So I wanted to come down and see Gabe and spend a few minutes with him. So thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Awesome.
Aloha, everyone.
Aloha. See you guys.